Install Exchange from scratch on vserv2, Stage 5. In the EMC, expand Organization Configuration, Hub Transport, Global Settings, double-click on Transport Settings, specify Postmaster at macroconnect.co, click OK, go to Send Connectors, New Send Connector, Next, Add, put in an asterisk under the address space, click OK, click Next, click Next, click Next, click New, click Finish, go to Server Configuration, Hub Transport, Default, double click, go to Permissions Groups, click Anonymous Users, click OK, go back to Organization Hub Transport, Accepted Domains, New Accepted Domain, New, and Finish. Right click on the new domain and set it as default. Email address policies, double click on default policy, click Next, click Next, the new domain name, change the FQDN to macroconnect.co, click OK. Notice that it displays different, so double click and open it up again. Uncheck email address local part, click OK. Click Set as Reply, which will now make it bold. Click Next, click Next, click Edit, click Finish. Go to services.msc, go to Exchange Transport and restart it. We're now going to test an outbound message via OWA, so we're going to open up IE. Go to https 10.0.1.202/OWA, hit enter. You'll get a certificate error, hit continue to this website. Type in the username and password, including the domain name with a slash, click sign in. Accept the preferences, click OK. Click new. Type in any address on the internet, and I've given it a subject, and click send. At this point, outbound email now works. In order to configure inbound, we need to configure DNS and NAT policies. My DNS server is located on another server, so I'm pulling that up. I've added these 4 records, so I've got an SPF record, an auto-discover record, a mail record, and then an MX record going back to the mail record. These IPs here we're going to allow through on the firewall, so 171 is my mail IP. That's going to need to be your particular static IP. The records that aren't highlighted don't pertain to the Exchange install. I've now pulled up my SonicWall firewall, and I'm going to go to Wizards, and I'm going to make a new NAT rule. So it's the public server wizard. Next, I'm going to set this to Other and Any, and this lets me configure the rule later. It's going to just set it as an open NAT rule for now. Next. So I've typed in the private IP address of the Exchange server. Click Next. Set the public IP to 171, which matches up to the DNS setting. Click Next. Click Apply. Now change the URL to https mail.macroconnect.co/OWA. Note that the SSL error went away, and click Sign In. Now from an outbound server, send a message to your server and you'll see that it arrives in your inbox. Let's go back to the EMC, to Server Configuration and Client Access. And we're going to enable Outlook Anywhere. Type in mail.macroconnect.co and click Enable. This takes up to 15 minutes to take an effect. At this point, your Outlook clients will be able to connect from outside the firewall. Click Finish. It's best practice to test your SSL certificate too, so let's go to Tools, SSL Installation Tool back at GoDaddy. Type in mail.macroconnect.co and click Validate Install. If you've done everything correctly, it'll say no issues found. Lastly, let's clean up our certificate trail, so we're going to go to the C drive and delete these 3 files. And then we got to go to the desktop and delete these 3 files. At this point, I'm going to trigger a reboot to make sure all services are restarted with all the settings we've changed.